Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. So, I must say, here in South Australia, that was a short lockdown. All that preparation. Although you never know when you're going to be shoved back into it. So I was so confused when I woke up today. My son came in and said, apparently we're going out of lockdown because some pizza guy didn't get delivery. And yes, I was very confused. Anyway. So, what I'm on for today is I have had a viewer request, hello Carol, to show how I break down my books to use for junk journals and that. So, I used to, when I got my books each week, because I didn't, at the start, I wasn't on design teams or anything like that. So, I'd get the books, I'd come home and I'd break them down straight away and sort the pictures out. And put them in little folders and that. However, I sort of regretted that because I've ended up with these boxes full of these square cut pictures. Now, sometimes I rather a ripped edge. Sometimes I like to leave a little bit of a border around it. Sometimes I like to leave the pages whole so that I can put the pages into a journal. Sometimes I like to leave some of the writing so I can fold it up into a pocket just using the page. So now I think a bit more. So I tend not to break down the books until I'm ready to use them, and I find that a better way to go. However, as you know, I get a lot of books being at the bookstore. And if you didn't watch my last video, I'm not doing book hauls at the moment because we were on lockdown, and at the moment I'm taking temporary leave from the bookstore. So it's a good time for me now to sort and organise all my books. Now, I do have way too many, and the aim is I'd love to use every page in every book I've got, but I have so many that there's no way I can do that. So I need to make room so that when there's really cool books, I've still got room for them because I'm addicted. So the idea is while I've been sorting out books, some of the books I've been chucking in a pile out here ready to break down because they don't have a lot in them that I would use, or they're ones that I probably would cut out and use. And that way I can take what I need and then the rest can go into the recycling. As I said, I know it's a shame seeing some of it go in the bin, but when you've got as much as I do, I really need to get the numbers down. And these books that I've grabbed out today were all in the recycling to begin with. So if I can use any of it, that's a bonus. So this one I'm just going to break the cover off of. Sometimes I keep them with the flip bits if it's good quality, but this has cover on it, the plastic cover, so I won't reuse that. So that can go in the bin. So this is a photography book. So I'm just going to go through and see what pages I like. Now, I look for things for journals, but I also look for things for glue books and any other sorts of art journals, that sort of thing, because I would really like to experiment with a lot of different styles at the moment. And this has some beautiful pictures in it of nature. So I think I'll take those three. Now, these ones I'm just going to rip out of this book. And the way I usually organise them when I'm breaking them down is I just put all the bits I pull out and cut out into one of your plastic slips. And that's the first stage. Mind you, I have, I don't know how many of these full of all sorts of pages and pictures that I haven't sorted yet. And I'm really looking forward to getting on one day and going through those with you and sorting them out. I recently bought some they've got file cabinets. They've got a couple of shelves, and then they've got two drawers of filing cabinets. And I bought two of those that are in my room, and I want to use them to store all my book pages in. So I'll get that organised sometime. The thing is, I put them here because I think there's not going to be much in them I like, but there actually is. But it is like glossy, so I probably wouldn't use a lot of the pages unless I wanted to do envelopes or something. So some of these I can just cut out. So cut this one out. So yes, Carol's wanted me to show what I do with my book pages for a while, so I thought I'll get on since I've got no books to show and just start breaking down some of them, although it is quite time consuming. Now with our recycling, they don't want you to put little bits in the recycling unless I think they're in a bag or a box. So I usually keep the McDonald's bags and that to put the recycling in. Whole pages can go in, so I usually have a pile of whole pages that can go straight in the recycling, and then the cut bits which I put into a bag or a box. It's a beautiful picture. So when I sort out where I put my book pages a bit better, I will take you for a tour and show you, because I've got numerous different places. I did start just organising them into the plastic slips, and then I had a expanding file, and I started putting them in there, sorted in themes, and then that got too big, so I got the themes that I had a lot for. I got your plastic folder pockets and started putting them in there, and then themes like botanicals and birds and that got way too big, so I ended up putting them in plastic tubs. So it's sort of increasing in size. I keep looking at the tub size. I'm not going any bigger than that. But obviously I can't have a tub for every theme. Wouldn't have a house to live in then, so. So yes, need to get using more, that's for sure. Some of these pictures are beautiful, but I'm not sure what I would actually use them for, and I've got to start being a bit more, what's the word for it? Thoughtful about what I will and won't use. Oh, cake. I also look for words that might interest me. It's a beautiful picture there. Things like that are good fussy cards. So I sort of have a look and think, you know, would I use it in a glue book or something, which I might one day, but for now I won't, because I need to clear out stuff. So I have to be more ruthless, I suppose is a good word. And succulents, I like succulents, but I'm sure I've got enough books on them. Sometimes I buy books on photography, well not buy, grab them out of the bin, because I think I'd like to teach myself about photography, but I never get around to it, so that's really cool. That's a nice scenery there. Try to get a bit quicker here. So yes, not in lockdown anymore. We've still got a few restrictions and that, but the gym's back open, but I'm taking leave from that for a while too, until my foot's 100% better. That's pretty cool, the robot, so I might take him. Let's see if I can break that off. That one's really cool. See, something like that I think would be great in a glue book in the future. I did start in a glue book. I've got a big cover ready, and I've got a whole lot of pages that I want to put in it. That's as far as I've gotten with that so far. Should be one of my plans for the new year to get that going. Oh, mushrooms. So take the mushrooms. A lighthouse. Try to think of future themes that I might do sometime. Lighthouses can be quite popular. Now that sort of thing I think is cool to cut out for a glue book for a focal point. That's pretty neat too. So I'll be doing a lot of these. I should do it once a week. I should make sure I grab a pile and break them down so when I get back to the bookstore I've got room. And so my son doesn't start throwing them out like he threatened to the other day. The nerve of him. I like that, but I don't need it. And that's just the index. That page can come off. All right, so that's given us this pile. So I know Carol wants to see how I sort them, so it's really difficult, Carol. I put them in a plastic bag and then I put them away and then I don't see them for years. All right, now next I've got this big book, the Shell Book of Exploring Britain. It's a bit ruined at the front. It's good to have a look at the cover and see if it's one I'd reuse. Now with this one, if I was short for covers, I would. I love the back of it. This is the problem, is that I want to keep everything. So anyway, we've got to take it out of the cover. It's just easier to get the pages I want that way. So I'll take these ones off. It's not too glossy. I usually like to keep these blanker pages to back my... There's that picture that's on the back, so I can just take that. Take the blanker pages to back my tags and that with. And I'll just grab my knife. Now if it's one I want to keep cover-wise, then I'll be a bit more careful, but I won't be keeping this one because I have stacks of covers here. Recycling pile. Let's check these. Now I'll keep that because I can use that for a coloured page somewhere. When I'm doing my yellow journals, I go for those pages before I go through my scrapbook pages and my coloured card stock and that. It's a good way to recycle. All right. See what we've got in here. So of course, if I was short on text pages, I would use, you know, all of these to make pockets and that, and in the future I will be doing a lot of that, but for tonight with the pile I've got, I won't, because I do just desperately need to get rid of some. I'm going to keep the map because I love old maps, and this dedication for my wife, who for so many weeks during the summer of 1969 remained a grass widow, uncomplaining and understanding while I revisited these places. Don't know what grass widow means, but I can go over there. So this has vintage pictures. So I want to see which ones sort of really stand out to me that I might like to use, if any. Map. Now, usually I'd go through and take the signatures out, but that does take time, so I do that if there's a lot that I want on a group of pages, then that's the better way to do it so you don't ruin them. But if it's just a page here and there, then I rip them out. So another map. For some reason, whenever I see these old English maps, I think of Lord of the Rings. That's kind of nice. Although I can't think of something that I'd use it with, so I'll leave it. I've got a few of them. So I hope you're all going well. I know here in South Australia it's been pretty warm the last few days. I think we're up to 38 or something tomorrow. So I'll be staying inside and doing some crafting and cleaning. I do like old country houses, that's why I usually grab this sort of thing. Might take this one here. It's a poem. Oh yeah, don't mind that one. It says, for when the one great scorer comes to write against your name, he writes not that you won or lost, but how you played the game. So I'll take that. It's a cool little saying to put somewhere. Castle. Lovely colours in these, aren't there? They might be good for a mixed media sometime, but I've got to stop wanting to keep everything. I can hear half of you yelling at me, why are you keeping that rubbish? And the other half going, why are you throwing that out? So, and then I've got me going, keep everything. I kind of like, oh, windmills. I did some masculine themed journals a while back, and one of the men that they went off to really liked windmills. So I was searching through all these books for pictures of windmills. And I tell you what, when I was doing those journals, I was so thankful for all the books I had here, because I had a few to pick from, which was good. Some houses that I like there. Another map. Oh, I like that door too. Let's see if this is ready to come off yet. Now, I think it's Bonnie that keeps this stuff. This one's not too bad. See, now I'm going to blame you, Bonnie. It's all your fault. I might have to keep that to do some scrappies on or something. Usually I don't, because usually I pull them off and they are dusty as like a health hazard. That one's not too bad. So we all enable each other, don't we? And that one's really nice. I think I have to take that one. One's pretty too. I still want to keep them all, but no. I've got heaps of art books that I might never use. Kind of like that though. That's a bit, it just looks sad for some reason. But I can see that fussy cut out and glue booked. Now there's another poem that I don't mind. I won't make you suffer by reading it to you, but it's about nature. Kind of like that. Looks like a castle. It's almost goth inspired. I have so many books where nearly every page has something that I like on it that I would use, and they're the ones that I want to fill the bookcases up with. Oh, windmill. That's what it was like when I went to Victoria. Windmills and wind turbines everywhere. Not as cool as those ones though. New. I like that church. It's a nice poem. I think it's called The Eagle, so I might take that. And then I'll fight with myself over whether I use the map. I'll probably use the poem though for when I do want to do a journal with your eagles and hawks in that one day because I've got some beautiful pictures of them. That bless my eye, here he lies in a sad pickle, killed by icicle in the year 1776. That's strange. Kind of like that one too. And the map. It's sort of eerie picture. Now, if you're bored out of your brains, Carol, you can blame yourself for that. Now, like that one. I think it's Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah, who I have seen use pictures of old houses and embellish around them, and they end up looking really cool. I want to give that a go sometime. So that's that one. So we're doing all right actually, because I've only kept this much so far. So they can go in there. Then, as I said, one day when I'm in the mood, I sit down with my pack and I go through and I sort them all, which I have lots and lots to do, and I'm looking forward to doing sometime. So now I have this Age of Absolutism. Grabbed this one quite recently. Love those pages. Quite like the cover too. Get rid of this. Now this is artwork. There is a fair bit in here I'm going to have to try and be ruthless with, which is hard. It's a big cover though. I don't know. I think I did that intact. So I might end up hanging on to that one. I quite like it. I'll hang on to these pages. Again, I like the ones that have the blank, a lot of blank on them. This one might be worth taking the signatures out. This is what my son did a while back. He kept grabbing a whole lot of my books and just undoing the signatures for me. So when I do want to use bits and pieces, it'll be easy for me to grab the pages out. I don't know which pages were attached to that still. None of them by the looks. Find the next one. The last one. like that as a background. That one's got some nice blank space. I know it seems ridiculous, doesn't it? But if I'm going to rip these books apart, might as well utilise what I can. That is a cool picture, but I don't think I'll use it. Oh, that's that blank one. It's a map. More map. Might keep all of that. That's a really nice page. Now with this, I like the threats to piece, so I might use that somewhere in my journaling. So I'll just chop that out and put that there. I do like the cows. Might keep that page as it is. What you can do is flick that over like that and make a pocket with it. That's why sometimes I don't want to cut the actual picture out. So that can stay like that. So this will be the last book I do tonight because I have other projects I need to get on with. But it's been good to make a start on these, and like I said, I should do it on a regular basis so I can get some numbers down. I don't like the ones that have all the death and war and destruction in them too much, so... No, not that one. It looks like a good picture until you look close and see people being tortured. So that can go. Don't mind that picture. So I'm just going to rough cut this one. Another thing is sometimes I want the picture, but I also want the explanation. So if I just cut the picture, then I'm sad that I don't have the information about it. So I try to be a little more mindful now. Like that one. Like that one too. Crikeys, I like everything. That's the problem. There's a few good ones on that page. This little one. That's a lovely sketch. So these pages would be great to fold up for pockets and that. But as I said, I have heaps. some more little ones which I'll keep. So just keep the whole page so I can fold him into a pocket if I want to. Oops, missed that one again. Keep all the maps. I've probably got enough of those. Peace, peace, peace forever. Oh, that can go. Quite like that one. Keep that little one. I'll sacrifice that side and just keep this side. Like that. Don't need any of those. This, it looks like a check maybe. Pretty cool ephemera piece. More ships. Don't know whether it's, yeah, tobacco it looks like. A nice blank piece I can use, back a journaling card with. So I hope you're crafting along rather than sitting there too bored. Some of these pictures are really cool, so I'll keep those. Not sure about him, it's a bit dark. There's a couple more of them. I think I'll leave those ones. That's cool. The aerial telescope, I think that's cool for steampunk. I'll just put that to the side. It's a nice old building, so I might keep that one. That's lovely. Working up a sweat doing this. Wasn't too hot today, but you can tell when it's going to be really hot the next day because it's almost hotter at night than it was the rest of the day before. Like that castle. But I'm going to sacrifice that. And I'll keep this. Cool little picture. Some more ships. Might keep all of that actually, because it wouldn't look as good without that bit. Might be able to do a fold out with it or something. Geez, this big book. You don't realise till you start taking it apart how big it is. Do like that one. Two. That looks like a plate. It's pretty cool. I don't think I'll keep that one. Just my chair's getting creaky these days. Don't think it likes me much. I'll have to have a look and make sure that the screws don't need a bit of tightening. More ships. I've got something about old ships. That's a nice pick. It's hard to start ripping into them, isn't it? And then once you start, it's addictive. Beautiful ship pictures. I love that one. That is gorgeous. A lot of them in there. William and Mary. Make a bad background for something. Man on his, oh no, it's a lady, or is it? No, it's a man. Get right now. So hard to tell back in the days. Did like that picture. More cargo ships. Weaving. Might take those too. Oh, getting there. You don't even want to see that one. Stupid iPad filled up, so I just had to go and empty it out as usual. So I'm going to keep that one. Oh, that's really cool too. It's a cornmeal. It's almost steampunky. It's an experiment with electricity. Are they doing it to a person? What are they doing? I have no idea. Don't know. I'll keep it. Don't think I want those ones. Oh, nudity. They're pretty, but I won't use them. Now, she, you know, a bit of bottom. It's not going to kill anyone, so I might keep that one. Although I've got more than a bit of bottom and it'll probably kill me. Sorry, I couldn't help myself as usual. That's kind of nice. But I don't really see scope for me using those. Do really like that. So I do like undoing the stitches, especially in the smaller books, and then if you want to keep the page as a double page to put back into a journal like that, then you can. Or if you want to cut your bigger page down to use as a double page. But I doubt I'd be doing that with any of these. So. Another thing I want to do in the future is use pages like this and make some real scrappy journals. But yes, I'm never going to be short of pages, so I'm not going to keep them all just at this moment because I do need to make room. Any of these pictures now. That's a whole lot of blank paper. Alright, so I think that's just about it. So, what we have got in our piles now is this whole pile that can go back into the recycling. So, that's one or two more books I might be able to fit in the house. And then this is the pile. I like it when my powder keeps a little bit less than my pile to go. Doesn't happen very often. So these are all the bits and pieces that I've got. So in the future, I'll sit down and I'll sort through and I'll take the blank pages out and put them in a pile. And then organise all the pictures. So that is a start to what I do to break down my books and organise my pages. It'll have to be a bit of a series, this one. And then I've got these 2 steampunk pages, which are going to be really cool and something. And then I've kept this cover as well, although I don't know if I will end up keeping it. If I don't keep the covers, sometimes I like to just keep the spines if I think they look pretty cool. You can cut them down, make tags out of them and all sorts of stuff. So definitely do that if I don't keep all of it. I do really like the map in there though, and the colour and the material. So I think that's it for today, because that's about an hour long. Oh, this has got to go. That's going in the rubbish though, because it's got plastic on it. Okay, so if you stayed till the end, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you got some crafting done while I was dribbling away and ripping out pages. And I hope to see you again very soon. Take care. Bye.